Hi friends, it's Sanam with Exit Realty BlackRock, and today we have attorney Sarah Lemay.
Hey everyone.
With Kane, Hartley and Kane, here to talk about taxes. Although it's not your typical tax season, right? April.
It's not.
It's real estate tax season.
It is.
When you are selling a property, there are seller conveyance taxes that you're responsible for. Attorney Lemay, can you talk a little bit about some of the experiences you've had at the closing table?
Sure, yeah. So as Sanam was saying, sellers in the state of Connecticut are responsible for paying a state and town conveyance tax. In total, most likely it's going to be 1% of the purchase price of the house. 0.75% goes to the state of Connecticut and 0.25% goes to the town. There are some towns, a handful of towns across the state, that have extra percentages on top of that 0.25%, but more often than not, you're going to be looking at 0.25 to the town and 0.75 to the state. So a lot of the common issues that come up for us is, people usually when they're selling, or hopefully when they're selling, they're looking to buy into another house. And so they're working on very tight margins of what they need to bring to the table to buy. So when I come to them and I put some papers in front of them and I say, I'm going over the numbers and I'm saying, here's what you're going to take home, and it's a couple $1,000s less than what they thought they were going to take home. And then I explain that it's conveyance taxes. People are none too happy about that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. It's a state law. The purchase and sale of land is a taxable transaction, and they take their piece.
So currently, sellers have their conveyance taxes. The state of Connecticut has tried to push forth conveyance taxes for buyers too. Realtors have been fighting it, and so as of July of 2018, that's not happening, thankfully.
Hopefully it won't happen.
So really, sellers, you should be sitting down with your listing agent to go over what we call a seller net sheet, what you're going to take home at the end of the day after all of your closing costs, because they add up just like buyers have closing costs.
True.
So another thing we wanted to talk about are real estate taxes.
Yes, real estate taxes. So a certainty when you're buying real estate, there's property taxes, unless you live in the state of New Hampshire. But we're in Connecticut, so there's definitely property taxes. Every year, the grand list, as we call it, switches over, and usually there's a little bit of rise in taxes. And most of the towns in the state collect taxes from July 1st through July 31st for the month of July, and for the month of January. So twice a year. There's a handful of towns in the state that collect once a year. I wish I knew them all off the top of my head, but if you suspect you're in one of those towns, you can always go look it up on your tax collector's website. If you're buying a house anywhere between, say, mid-June and the end of July, the practice at our firm is to have the buyers bring enough to the table to pay their full July tax installment, and then we take that money, we cut a check, and we mail it to the tax collector for you. And for sellers, you don't have to pay your taxes on that round when you're selling your house right around when tax season hits. And again, that's the practice at our firm. If you're not using our firm or someone who practices similar to us, you can always call and ask them how they handle the tax situation.
And we have some sellers right now who are looking to close at the end of the month, and I've been getting phone calls nonstop. Sanam, should I pay my taxes now? And my response is similar to yours. I say as long as you're paid before August 1st, it's absolutely fine. If you pay it now, you'll be reimbursed at the closing. If you choose not to, the attorneys will handle it so that the town gets paid what they need.
So there's plenty of ways to deal with taxes. The best way to deal with it from a buyer or seller perspective is talk to your realtor, talk to your attorney, and make sure everybody's on the same page and everything will be taken care of just fine.
Thank you so much for joining us here today, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye.